The number of drilling permits approved by the Bureau of Land Management more than quadrupled between 1999 and 2007. This focus has compromised other agency efforts. In 2005, the General Accounting Office reported that BLM was not meeting its goals to protect the environment on public lands because it had been overwhelmed with processing these permits. What has BLM changed to meet its environmental protection responsibilities as the number of permits approved continues to rise?
Thank you. I don't think there's any question that the response that we received with regard to new applications to drill wells created real constraints because of the manpower resources that we had. One of the things that Congress has done to help us is to provide for us resources to create what we call pilot offices. And these were pilot from the standpoint that they were experimental, but I think that they will become the way that we do business. The issue wasn't just with the Bureau of Land Management, but it also was with all of the other state and federal agencies and local interests that we need to deal with to make sure that what we approve meets as many of their needs as is possible to do so. When Congress provided the additional funds for us to establish these pilot offices, what we were able to do was to bring all of the agencies into one facility and to then have dedicated staffs to deal with these issues having to do with APDs. That has worked very well, and you will see soon a report that was prepared by an independent organization that Interior brought in to monitor our progress. And as you will see when that information becomes available, it has gone a long way to solve the issues that we had when we first received the onslaught of so many applications. Those applications continue, although in the last little while we've seen a bit of a, I won't say a decrease, but certainly a plateauing of the number of applications that we're getting. We also, through those, one of the things that suffered from those other efforts was our ability to get people out to do inspections, and that's critical. When you issue these permits, you have to make sure that they're being applied correctly. And 99% of the people that have them do a good job. There's always a certain number that have to be inspected.
Can you talk to us about, with the increase of drilling operations on public lands across the West, it is critical that BLM plan for dealing with wells when they run dry. Can you discuss how energy operators can restore land for wildlife habitat, hunting, fishing, and grazing after the well has been depleted? And given the fact that most of your inspectors are processing permits requests, and then how can you explain to us that more than 1/3 of those permits are not actually being used?
Madam Chairwoman, one of the results of the pilot offices has been that we've been able to get more people back onto the ground to do the inspections, to make sure that we are assuring that the stipulations, requirements, and the permits are being met. You also, through the appropriations as Congress has provided us for, have increased the capability to do that.
Well, how are you doing that? In the 1985 GAO report, they found that you lack the resources to adequately monitor the restoration of the habitat of the abandoned wells. So how are you doing that? Since 1985, what specific efforts are you taking since 2005?
Madam Chairwoman, there have been a lot of efforts. First of all, our regulations have changed substantially. There are best management practices that are now required to be followed with regard to not only the reclamation efforts but also the drilling efforts. And through the monies that we've been able to utilize that Congress has given us, we have increased our inspection and our efforts considerably in the last 2 or 3 years. And I think we're seeing a lot better compliance. We also are requiring bonding, we're requiring financial assurances that these things be done properly. We also have an effort that we call Healthy Lands Initiative. It's not only the issue of those which are being impacted by oil and gas, but our bigger threats are from invasive species and fire. So our Healthy Lands Initiative, again, which Congress has helped provide funds for, is, I think, doing a lot to improve not only the mineral lands, but also the other lands that we administer.